Hi everyone, it's Shannon. I'm so excited to have you here on my channel today. I've had a lot of viewers ask me how they can create their own reusable stencils, and today is the day that I'm going to share that with you, thanks to the help of Icon Art. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I've already had a lot of fun playing around with this custom stencil kit, so I know you guys are going to enjoy it too. So let me share with you how to make your own reusable stencils. The very first thing I did was print my design out, and your kit will come with 2 different film types. And these are what you're going to run through your printer and print your designs on. So depending on if you have a laser printer or an inkjet printer, make sure to use the film that matches your printer. Inkjet printers are probably the most common, and that is what I have. So you can see here, I have this like milky type material that I printed it on. You just want to make sure that you print your design on the more rough side or the milkier side. One side's pretty smooth and shiny, make sure to print it on the rougher side. Now the design that I'm using today is just one that I created in my Photoshop program. I will put a link down in the description box to a free printable if you'd like to reuse this. But you can print your own designs and really get creative with it. I will also make sure to put the link to this kit down in the description box with more information, so make sure to check that after this video. Now let me take you on to the next step of how to create your own reusable stencils. Alright, so this is the exciting part. We get to create our stencil after we have printed off our design. Everything you see in these next few steps does come with your kit, so you have everything you need to create your custom stencils, minus your printer that you used to create your design with or print your design off with. And so as you can see here, we have a base with an arm and a light on it. We'll be using that in just a little bit, but we do need to use the base for our layering. So we need to sort of stack some materials here first. So it includes this black piece of cardboard that goes down first. Next we need to layer our Icon Art stencil film. This is light sensitive, so you can see it comes in a black bag. We want to leave all of the material in this bag until we absolutely need it, because it is light sensitive and it could get damaged if we just have it laying out and about. So we're going to remove 1 sheet of our stencil film from this bag, and we're going to make sure the rest goes back in there so that it doesn't get damaged. And this has 2 different sides. So there is a shiny side and then there is a rough side. You want to make sure your textured side is facing up. Next, we're going to lay our film on top of this. This is our design, and as you can see, our design is facing up. So you want it to read correctly. You do not want to mirror this, so you don't want it backwards. You want it laying right side up. So definitely make sure your design is readable before you add the last piece of our puzzle here, and that is this clear sheet of plastic. It comes in our stencil film bag, and this is what is going to go on top. So I'm just going to make sure I kind of smooth this out, get all the air bubbles out so it is sandwiched in there and kind of has a suction effect so it doesn't move around on the inside. Now I've set my phone to 35 seconds. That way I have a timer. That's all it takes for our light to react with the stencil film and create our stencil. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is plug this in, start my timer, and as soon as my timer is up, then I will turn off the light. Alright, so I've turned off the lamp, and then you just remove the plastic that was on top as well as your design. And as you can see, you really can't see anything, but the magic has already happened. Now we're going to take this clipboard, which is included in your kit, and we're going to slide our film up underneath there. And we're going to take this to our kitchen sink. We're going to use hot water on our spray nozzle to spray off all of the glue and reveal our design. So here's a look at my design. It's all rinsed off and dried now. You can let this air dry for 45 minutes, or you can take a low temp hair dryer to it and dry it for about 2 to 3 minutes and then let it cool for 15 minutes. So now that mine is completely dry, I'm gonna set it back underneath my light for about 60 seconds, and that is just gonna kind of help set our design. And here is our completely reusable stencil. It's also sticky on the back so that we can use it over and over and over again. But before I peel it off, I have a black marker. I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna write back on the back of the plastic. That way we know which side to reattach the stencil to the next time we go to use it. And then what I have to actually use my stencil on as an example is this framed wood sign. I just picked this up from Walmart. It was only about $8, so really inexpensive. I just thought it'd be super cute to create a really simple wood sign using the stencil first. And then I have chalk paint that I'm going to be using on this. You can use different mediums. You can use stain if you thicken it. You can use acrylic paint, and you can even use fabric paint. So what I'll do is I'll show you now how to apply your stencil onto your project and then how to add your paint. Alright, so I've wrote back on the plastic backing, and now we're going to peel off the stencil film. And now that I have my stencil placed where I want it, I'm going to rub my hands along the stencil. It is adhesive backed, so it's going to adhere to your project. I'm just kind of getting some of the air bubbles out, but you definitely want to rub your hands and your fingers along your design to make sure that gets a really nice adhesion, and then you'll get less paint bleed. Now, like I said, I'm going to be using chalk paint for this. I just have a foam paintbrush. I've already shaken it up, and I'm going to grab quite a bit and just give myself a row of chalk paint at the top, because we're going to squeegee this down onto the design. Now, the good thing about this is if you use too much, we are using a squeegee, and you can take your excess and put it back in the bottle. So don't worry about using too much. Icon Art also supplies you with a really nice squeegee that we're going to use to drag down our paint. So this will come in your kit. We're going to lay our squeegee flat against the wood sign or your project, and you're just going to drag your paint straight down over your design. Now, once your entire design is covered, you can remove your stencil. I also have this excess on my squeegee that I'm just going to transfer into the paint bottle. Now, what you can do with your stencil is you can reuse this, take it over to another project and place it down and reuse it again. Or if you're finished with it, you just take it back to your sink, you're gonna put it back onto your clipboard and rewash. And like I said earlier, you can use fabric paint with these stencils as well. So I thought I would have a little bit of fun creating a t-shirt for my son for the summertime. I just repeated the same process of creating those layers underneath the light, exposing it for 35 seconds before taking it to the sink and creating my stencils. You can see how cool it turns out. I did put a piece of felt inside the t-shirt so it wouldn't transfer the ink to the back side. I peeled off that sticky backed stencil, added some fabric paint to the top before pulling it down like I did with the wood sign. The shirt turned out so super cool. I know my son is going to love it. He loves sunglasses. And you can also see that I used that same stencil on a charger that I found at Dollar Tree. Make sure to check the link that I'll have down in the description box to more information on icon art and all of the different materials that they carry for stencil making. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.